This is the fifth video from Spartans 500 most important words. Our first word is perquisite. Perquisite can also be called perk, right? So perk and perquisite is one and the same. So they both are nouns. So perk means something you get legally. This is important here, something you get legally from your work in addition to your wages, such as goods, meals, camp facility, etc. Right? So these are given extra on top of your wages, right? And they're given legally. Now what about incentive? Incentive is completely different from perk, right? There is no connection at all. Incentive means something that encourages you to work harder, start a new activity, etc. So this can be used in different ways. So first of all, incentive means if your company recognizes your hard work, or if you are very much beneficial, your work is beneficial to the company, to encourage your work, a company will give you something extra, right? That is called incentives. So your bonus can be an incentive, right? Your bonus is an incentive. So here you see here, this bonus and reward, these are called incentives. Okay, these are not called as perks. Perks means just extra facilities apart from your salary, and that are not given to recognize your work. They're just given as a company's policies. That's it, right? So do not confuse between perks and incentives, right? Now examples of incentives: as an added incentive, there is a bottle of champagne for the best team. Second example, awards provide an incentive. See the uses here. The awards provide an incentive. An incentive means a motivation, right? Awards provide an incentive for young people to improve their skills. So incentive means it is actually providing an encouragement. Our next example is farmers lack incentive. Farmers lack any incentive to manage their land organically. Right? So they lack any incentive means they lack any push or encouragement here. So it means encouragement, right? See here, privilege, perquisite is a privilege, whereas incentive is something like a gift which is given to encourage. So incentives can be used in two ways. One is a gift or a bonus, and second meaning is encouragement, right? So you can use incentives when you want to say encouragement. Now implicate is a verb. Implicate means to show or suggest that someone is involved in a crime or in a dishonest act. Here there is a Telugu meaning here, suchinchadam. Okay, indict means, indict is also verb, implicate is also verb. Here you need to know the subtle difference between them. Implicate means, for Telugu people, since I have written here, they can see the difference clearly. Suchinchadam means hinting here. This is hint or suggesting. Whereas this one, Nararopana, means criminating. That means you are blaming them, blaming, or you are confirming that the particular crime is done by that particular person, right? So implicate means to show or suggest that someone is involved in a crime or dishonest act. So implicate means implying. That's it. Okay, imply or hinting. So that way you can memorize this word. Implicate means you are implying that, or you are indicating that, you are hinting that, or you are suggesting that someone is involved in a crime or a dishonest act. Whereas indict means to officially charging. You are officially charging someone with a criminal offense. So you are criminating them. The nuance here is, implicate means you are actually implying or hinting. That's it. Whereas indict means you are officially saying that the particular person has done so and so crime. That's what you are confirming that. Example, he was indicted for vehicular homicide in 1987. Now indict is not equal to implicate. Both are entirely different, right? Our next word is preponderance. Preponderance is a noun. Preponderance means if there is a preponderance of people or preponderance of a particular type in a group, there are more of the type of any other. That means there is a dominance. Preponderance means one particular thing. If you take a group of things, right, out of a certain group of things, if one entity is repeating often, or one entity is having the highest frequency, that particular thing is called preponderance. That means existence of majority, right? Existence of majority is a preponderance. So if there is a preponderance of people of certain type, that means there are more of that kind of people in a group. Example, there is a preponderance of female students in the music department, right? So preponderance means majority. Our next word is perspicacious. Perspicacious is an adjective. Perspicacious means good at judging and understanding people and situations. So being perceptive is called perspicacious. Perspicacious means you're good at judging and understanding people and their situations. Perspicaciously is an adverb. Perspicacity is a noun. Right? Now, perceptive means, what is the meaning of perceptive? Perceptive is an adjective. Perceptive means someone who is perceptive notices things quickly and understands situations, people's feelings, etc. very well. Okay. So here you need to know these three words: perspicacious and perspicuous and perceptive. All these are related words. See here, perspicuous means something perspicuous, right? Spy here. Spy means something which you can see. Perspicuous means which is very much clearly seen. So plain to understand, especially because of clarity and precision of a presentation. So something which you can clearly see is called perspicuous, right? Now, perspicuous plan is something which is very much understood because of the clarity in that plan, right? Perspicuous means very much clear and very much easy to understand. Perceptive means someone who is perceptive is having a clear mind, right? Perceptive means having clear mind. That's why what happens is someone who is perceptive notices things very quickly and understands situation, people, feelings, etc. because he is clearly able to see the things, right? This one, perspicacious means being good at judging others or understanding the feelings of others. Being perceptive, right, is called perspicacious. Now, perspicacious, perceptive and perspicuous, right? All these are almost related to each other. Now here the example is a perspicuous argument. That means an argument which is very much clear to understand, right? Now our next example is vindictive. A few words are given in Telugu as well, so that Teluguites can easily memorize these words, right? That will be an added advantage for them, right? Because you will understand the subtle differences. When I'm writing in Telugu, you can clearly see vindictive, spiteful, genial. Okay, vindictive, spiteful, vicious, malicious, all are negative words and all are related to the same thing, but the depth is different, right? But the intensity is different. So all these words are nuances, right? So each of these four words can replace one another, but then here you need to know each of this word has its own intensity, right? Vindictive means being very revengeful, okay? So vindictive means revenge, cruel and unfair towards someone who has harmed you. So that is being you're taking revenge, okay? Revenge, vengeance, right? Now spiteful means hatred, deliberately nasty to someone in order to hurt them. The difference here is vindictive means you are actually taking revenge, whereas spiteful is not taking any revenge. Spiteful means you purposefully being very harsh towards them so that you want to just hurt them. It's not that you are taking a revenge, but then it can be your attitude as well, right? Being spiteful means you are deliberately nasty in order to hurt them. Genial means very friendly and very cheerful. Genial means friendly and happy. Example, a genial smile, right? Similarly for spiteful, example is a spiteful remark. Now our next word is vicious. Vicious means violent and cruel in a way that hurts someone physically. So this is being violent and cruel in a way that hurts someone physically. Example, a vicious murder. Similarly, keep away from the dog, he can be vicious. That means he can be very violent, and the dog can cause physical damage as well. So we say vicious, he can be vicious. Our next word is malicious. Mal means bad, so that is the root word for this one. Mal means bad, so malicious means very unkind and cruel and deliberately behaving in a way that is likely to upset or hurt someone. So malicious means you are actually being very bad to them, very unkind to them, right? So malicious means very unkind and cruel. Example, he is responsible for the malicious rumor. That means he is responsible for the very unkind, cruel and bad rumors, right? So malicious means you spread malicious rumors just to taint the impressions or taint the reputation of other people, right? By spreading malicious rumors. Malicious means bad rumors, which can hurt the which can taint the reputation of your enemies. Or our next word is nasty. Nasty means a nasty behavior or remarks are extremely unkind. Similarly, someone who is nasty behaves in an unkind and unpleasant way. So nasty, the basic meaning of nasty is a very unkind and very unpleasant. Okay, so nasty person means one who behaves in an unkind and unpleasant way. Similarly, a nasty behavior is actually extremely unkind behavior. So this word is very negative word, right? Extremely negative. Our next word is poignant. Poignant is an adjective. Poignant means making you feel sad or full of pity. Example, a poignant reminder of our nation's great sacrifices, right? Poignant memories or memories which make you feel sad. Okay, so poignant means something which makes you feel sad. So imagine you are far away from your beloved people, and whenever you think of their memories, those memories are called poignant memories, because as and when you are thinking about loved ones, you feel very sad, right? You get the feeling of missing them, right? So that those are called poignant memories or poignant feelings. Now, flaunt. Flaunt is a verb. Flaunt means to show your money, success, beauty, etc., so that other people notice it. This word is used to show disapproval. Example, the rich flaunted their wealth while the poor starved on the streets. So there is a usage for this. If you have got it, flaunt it. So see the usage. If you have got it, flaunt it. So this usage is used humorously. The meaning of this usage is to tell someone not to hide their beauty, wealth or abilities. So you can use this phrase to humorously, right? If you have got it, flaunt it. That means you are asking them to not to hide their beauty, wealth or abilities, right? Our next word is subjugate. Subjugate is a verb. Subjugate means to defeat a person or a group and make them obey you. So subjugate means you defeat a person or a group and then you make them obey you. Example, the native population was subjugated and exploited. Our next word is stringent and staunch. See here, stringent and staunch both are entirely different. Stringent means katinam, staunch means drudamaina. So both are actually very different. So you should understand the nuances again. Stringent means a stringent law, rule, standard, etc. is very strict and must be obeyed. So being very strict is called stringent. Stringent laws are unflexible, right? So they had to be obeyed and there is no way you can amend them. Stringent laws. Right? Stringent economic conditions exist when there is a severe lack of money and strict controls on the supply of money. So now example of stringent is stringent anti-noise regulations. Now staunch is an adjective. Staunch means giving strong loyal support to another person, organization, belief, etc. So staunch synonym is steadfast. Staunch means a blind believer. If having a blind faith is being your staunch. Okay, staunch supporter means a blind supporter, a loyal supporter. Be it good or bad, he always supports you, right? Staunch followers. Example, a staunch conservative. One of Bush's staunchest supporters, right? So stringent means being very strict, staunch means being very loyal. You should know the difference here. So this is end of this lecture. Let's meet in our next lecture. Thank you.